We've all seen Mrbeast Squid Game, and today I have the opportunity to talk to one of the people who participated in it. So, tell us about yourself.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Gino Angelini. was number 254 in the Mrbeast Squid Game. Unfortunately, I was out during red light, green light.
I mean, it's kind of what you got out in the first round. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But first off, I want to ask, how did you first find out about Mrbeast?
How did I find out about Mrbeast? Well, it was a while ago. I was kind of an early fan of his. I first heard of him when I heard
the intros,
the cringe intros, and the 100,000. I was kind of joining during that era before he started doing the money stuff. So
yeah, early. I also started I watched a couple of his weird intro videos, but I didn't subscribe until he did the counting, the dictionary video. But that was around when I subscribed. But I watched his videos around the weird intros. Whole thing. But yeah, so the question a lot of people probably ask you, how did you get to participate?
To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you because obviously he made the giveaways.
Did you buy the merch or?
No, I didn't buy any merch at all. I just followed him I subscribed to him on YouTube, and obviously his first video came out saying if this video got 10 million likes, he would recreate Squid. And all I ever put down was, so I'm gonna be in the games, right, Beast Man? And sure enough, I get a message on TikTok saying that you've been selected to be part of Mrbeast's Squid Game. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, when you sent that comment, you think you were actually gonna get a response, or was it just
No. I just literally put it out there because what is it? Half a million followers on there. So just to get my fans' reception on it, just more exposure for my account rather than just being part of the games at all. Then all of a sudden I get a message. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sure.
Did you have 500,000 when you put?
Just before. That was just before 500,000. We were at 490, I think.
And then after the whole Beast game thing, how many did you have?
Afterwards, I am up to almost 530K. 530K, and I started at 490K. So I gained about 40,000 followers after the case.
Congrats. No, not a lot of people get to see that amount of growth in a short amount of time. So congrats. Yeah. So what was it like when you actually found out you were going to be in the video? What were your emotions? Do you believe it was?
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a scam because I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm going to Mrbeast's Squid Game. It was his account on TikTok that messaged me. I don't know if it was actually him personally or if it was a team member. I don't know exactly. Okay. But I just remember I even clicked the little name on top and it goes to Mrbeast Verified. And even then, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to this thing. So I sent the email, the phone number and everything. And all of a sudden they're sending me all this information. I'm getting a phone call. I'm like, oh my God, this is actually happening. What the hell?
When you got that call, was it Mrbeast?
His name was Connor. I was talking to, I want to say. He was just talking to me the dates. He was talking to me where I was flying out of. He was telling me kind of more the information stuff to book the flights and stuff. And he sent me some form to fill out just to make sure. It's kind of an identity form just to make sure this is actually you, because you need to submit your ID, your COVID card, all that jazz.
Yeah. I'm guessing you talked to a couple of the people actually in that video, some other contestants. Yes. What were some of the other ways they got in the video?
Some of them did purchase the merch. Some of them ended up getting a phone call. Some of them got a text. Others.
How did they randomly get that phone call and text? How did
they? You're asking the wrong guy. But I think what is it? People that ordered their sweatshirts and stuff, I think they have to required to put their emails and stuff down. So yeah. I guess I track it from there. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. If it comes from TikTok, I end up giving them my phone number, my email, and then they reach me that way. But yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like when you were arriving to his warehouse?
Okay, so at first I was still sketched because we're in North Carolina. Don't know anything about the place. And all of a sudden we're taking on the bus and we take this one right turn on Prison Camp Road, which is very reassuring. And I'm just, we are about to get kidnapped. This is not Mrbeast Squid Game. We just all got scammed. But also we were brought to this agriculture center, which is kind of one of those horse rally places, I guess. All of a sudden I just see some food trucks because we couldn't go inside right away because that's where the red light, green light was taking place. And so all of a sudden we basically go to the back of this place and we get in line to get our outfits. And also looking at the outfit, sure enough, it's the exact replica from a Squid Game. I'm like, oh my God, we're actually doing this.
You didn't get to keep the outfit.
Some did, some didn't. I unfortunately did not get to keep it. I think it's mainly for the fact that I technically died in the games rather than being eliminated, if that makes sense. Because my one buddy, actually 177, we see him right away in the video where he's shaking red light, green light. He got to keep his because he ended up taking a deal, I guess. So he wasn't technically eliminated. And plus, was it the Squid didn't? I think it was the $4,000 one, I want to say. Unless it was him. I can't recall on top of my head. I'm sorry.
Spiffy Jake, right?
Yep, Spiffy Jake. I think you're going to be talking to him later. So that's going to be more. He's going to give you more than what I can give you.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. He seems like a really nice guy. But what was it like talking to other like crew members like Nolan? You have an interesting story about Nolan. Did you talk to any of the other members? Like talk.
I talked to all the members. The very first member I met was actually the bounty hunter guy, and I didn't recognize him at first, but the group of friends recognized him, and we're like, "Oh, he's actually part of this." And we ended up talking to him, and he was very nice. Like he actually stopped to talk to us and have like a full on conversation just about how like he first got onto Mrbeast, how he became kind of like a crew member. Because originally he was just working at the local police department, and he apparently got a call saying, "Hey, they're looking for some kind of like detective to do this YouTube video." And at first he was like, "YouTube video," but then I'm going, and he said it's probably one of his best decisions.
Do you know if he quit his police job?
No, he still works for the city. So he didn't quit. He's just kind of like on call with Mrbeast, I guess.
So cool.
And that's kind of how the employees in Mrbeast kind of work. It's like you're on call, but for the Squid Game, they kind of needed all hands on deck because it was just such a big project. Then I ended up meeting I didn't meet him, but I met the guy that did the like 20,000 reps with the 1 pound. If you remember that one, where they gave him a 1 pound dumbbell and they told him every lift you get.
I've seen the video, but I just can't remember the guy.
I'll try to send you the link after this, but no worries. I met him. I didn't really talk too much. Then I ended up meeting Carl. Carl's exactly what you expect Carl to be like. He's just like socially awkward, but very like extrovert. And of course, was it the fangirls got crazy about it, so they were surrounding him the whole time. But he was digging it. Yeah, what was it? I ended up getting a hug from him because originally I was gonna go for a shake his hand. He was going for a fist pound, so we had a weird situation. So all of a sudden we ended up like connecting, and we just ended up getting a hug. Well, that's pretty sick. So yeah, he isn't my favorite like Mrbeast crew member, but he's my favorite is Chris. And Chris, oh yeah, that's a Chris that I was expecting.
Chris is amazing.
He's S tier. What was my interaction with him? Let me think here. So we ended up first meeting at the taco truck, and at first it was like a quick hey because he was, obviously busy. And then later on, when we were actually in the games, I actually got to talk to him a little bit more, and I told him whatever happened to Asian sticker that and with the inhaler grandma, and he basically just told me like they just grew and they end up eventually getting rid of it. And we were just kind of like sitting there like, and he had like a moment of contemplating about like how far they've gotten, like about how they counted from 100,000 to this full thing. And now he has a family now. He's like, damn, I do. It was a cool interaction with him. And I would love to meet Chris again. I love him.
Let's talk about like your experience with Nolan because you made a TikTok about that. But I definitely, from the TikTok, it seems like funny and awkward at the same time.
Yeah. So. Nolan was a great person. He was he was definitely a lot, I feel like, professional, but he was still like a fun professional, if that makes sense. But yeah, apparently he was like vlogging with random contestants. Just kind of, how did you get here? Why were you here? How far are you gonna make it? Kind of like basic stuff.
Because do you know where those videos of him asking went? Because I feel like it would have been very cool if they posted them on like Mrbeast Shorts, something like that, like to give like a backstory about the characters and stuff like that.
I don't know if they end up like posting on like their like Instagram stories. I don't know where they are exactly. I wish I knew because I have a few videos of me I would like to keep because A, proof, B, memories. But he was like recording random people, just talk about those basic questions. And he ended up asking the people around him, was there anyone else that came here from TikTok? And people were pointing at me because I kind of was mentioning throughout the day I came from TikTok. So then he ends up coming to me. I end up shaking his hand or hugging him. I don't know. But for some reason, I end up putting my arm through his like little slot in his arm. I just like bring him in. And right when I do, I'm like, is it okay if I swear at all or no?
Go ahead.
My first instinct was, what the fuck am I doing? So I ended up taking the arm out. He asked me the questions, and it was a good time. Then I asked the contestant next to me, like, did I really just wrap my arm? He was like, yeah, man, I don't know what you're doing. I literally got the whole Nolan, I guess. I don't know. It was nuts. It was weird. I'm actually commenting on the video, on the one TikTok video. He's like, it's all good. I didn't even notice. I'm like, so yeah, that was my interaction with Nolan.
So I'm pretty sure you didn't get to like keep your like phones.
Yeah, no.
How long did like the shoot take?
So it was interesting because we had to wake up, we had to be in the lobby of the hotel by 5 o'clock in the morning. So I ended up waking up at like 3:30 in the morning. So then we end up, they told us, leave your phone, leave your IDs, leave everything. If you're caught with it, you're automatically, which is like, oh, okay. But apparently later on, someone apparently sneaked it in and no one realized, which interesting. I don't know if they got eliminated or not, but that was the thing that happened. But anyways, so we ended up getting to the location around like 6 or 7. It was like probably like an hour drive. It wasn't like anything significant. But the thing that took the longest was the checking in process where we had to go get our suits, get dressed, take our picture, come out. And after that, then it was kind of free for the whole day. We went to like the food trucks. We played like the yard games that they had. This was all up until I want to say like 2 o'clock. Obviously, I didn't have my phone, so I didn't know the exact time.
Yeah.
So then I'm making us line up in order. And it's just a process that took so long because we all are just saying because, oh yeah, no, 100%. Because they end up having to give us the squids, which are the motherboards. You know, the blinking light you saw in that thing. We had to collect that thing. The thing is, they only went 2 rows at a time, and it was taking forever. I won't say that process probably took 2 hours to get it and then actually put it on because they had to make it almost like elementary school style. First, take off your jacket. Don't go ahead yet. And so he has to wait. And of course, people kept on like asking questions and whatnot. So at this point, I want to say it was like 5 or 6 o'clock, and we end up going into the first room, not the actual red light, green light, but there's like a back room that we were waiting in. No, not the beds. I wish, trust me, I wish. That would have been sick, but no, that was another set. It was just like a little back room, and the guy says, this is what we like to call the hospital waiting room because you still got to wait. And we're just like, are you kidding me? We've been standing for the last 5 hours. Let us do something. But also the one guy, I want to be clear, he was nice. He was cool. He was funny. Nothing bad. And I'm going to talk about later, but what was it? I ended up having an article written about me because of something I said in the video, but that's later on. And he was a cool guy, but we were just waiting. It was probably like another hour before we actually got to the arena. And then at this point, it was like 7 o'clock. And the next like 30 minutes was more like the intro, thumbnail, all that. And originally I was up front. And
right
in the TikTok, that was like the one crowd area where they were making the one video like noon when they shot that. But no, in the original video, I was supposed to be up front. Sorry, yeah, I was supposed to be. But I'll kind of explain this in a minute. But so we end up and we finally get to the red light, green light part. And what was it? He ends up saying green light, red light, we're going. And one guy just moves. He told me he was going to get out. I was talking to him. And Mrbeast was trying to activate his squid, his thing to pop. It wasn't popping. But then 20 seconds later, it popped. And they're thinking it's a technical error. They go again, red light, catch people. And the buttons are not working anymore. So Mrbeast had to go check out what happened. It was probably like 10 minutes at this point. And some of us were like squatting.
No.
And I'm just committed in my mind, like, I'm not getting. Then the one guy that was guiding us today says, you're on a stationary red light, stationary green light, which means you can't advance any further, but you can relax a little bit. I'm just saying, like, this is sabotage. I don't trust this guy. But then eventually I turn around and I see everyone else was moving. So I ended up starting moving too, because if I'm getting out, everyone else was getting out. But later on, Mrbeast comes out and he tells us the Wi-Fi crashed. It's just like, literally, it's like, of course the Wi-Fi would crash. And originally we were supposed to only get $1,000, but because of this error, he decides to give us all an extra $1,000. So the people end up leaving with a guaranteed $2,000, which it was sick. I feel bad for him. Like, I felt so bad for him. Like, he had to spend another almost $500,000 on us for something that he couldn't fix. And we were just in our like motherboards that were on our chest. And I ended up getting in a line where the bounty hunter was. I'm like, I end up telling him, like, I feel bad for Jimmy. He's like, why do you feel bad? And I'm like, well, he has to spend almost another $500,000 on him. So do. He's like, don't even worry about it. Well, that tells you how big Mrbeast is. You worry about $500,000. So then the next day comes along, roughly the same process. But then we end up redoing it. I end up getting more in like the middle right side. And as we know it, I end up getting out. Yeah, that's how the process kind of went.
So the article said that you weren't supposed to get out because you didn't move.
So the whole thing about that article thing is I generally thought I didn't move when I got in burst, because it was like 20, 30 seconds after the red light. And I know sometimes, it could be just like human error, because no longer do we have the motion sensors anymore. They just brought in a lot more employees to be there. And by the way, confirmed, Flamingo I ended up hearing. He ended up making a video about it. Someone asked me that on TikTok and I didn't know. But
was he one of the guards?
That's what I've been told. But anywho, so I didn't think I moved. And I decided after this, and when Mrbeast released a video, I was going to make an AMA section just to kind of talk about, what's the experience like? Because I know not a lot of people, almost no one's going to be able to have the experience I had with Mrbeast. So I kind of want to provide people the opportunity to ask any questions so they can at least get the idea of what's like being there. And one of the questions was like, when did you get out? And I ended up saying it was red light, green light. I didn't think I'd get out. And as I said, the guy that kind of guided us throughout the day, he says, if you burst and you didn't move, he's being a smart ass. He says, there's a number on the back that says 1-800, we do not care. And he's just doing it because you can tell he's done this multiple times. And he's just like, he just wants everything to go smoothly. He doesn't want, a crowd of people to complain with him about something, that kind of thing.
No one wants to complain against them.
I think it's just preventing that. I mean, I would do the exact same thing. But and I just said, it was a good experience. I had a great time. I got $2,000 out of it and all that. Also, literally like a day later, I get a message from my sister. She ends up giving me a screenshot of a Lad Bible article saying, contestant man from Mrbeast Squid Game said it was rigged when he got shot without moving. I'm like, first off, I never said that. And apparently it got big in Europe because her friend from Europe said it was getting passed around a lot, apparently. So what was it?
Viral in Europe.
And what was it? They ended up saying, basically quoting exactly everything. And there's so many like things that the person should have left out to make her point across, but pointing the whole thing, it like countered the whole point, especially the last part where I said I was happy to be there and all that. And then she apparently went to the comments section to find more sources. Like, yeah, that's a smart idea. Go to the TikTok comment section.
Most reliable source on the internet.
Oh, very much. And I ended up making another TikTok trying to expose the article about it. Mm-hmm. And I ended up emailing the actual company about it. I'm like, hey, this is incorrect. Mm-hmm. And the guy was nice. He ended up replying back. He's like, 100%. I was out of the office, but we'll take it down ASAP. And so that ended up getting taken down. So that was helpful. But the thing is now is that many of like smaller companies are taking that article and they're trying to like make it their own kind of thing. A lot of Spanish articles too, for some reason. I don't know why that's a whole thing that happens, but very much so. But also at the same time, I don't think they're going to have as much of a big impact as the Lad Bible situation. Yeah, so
huge.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so if you think you would have gotten out at that point, like how far do you think you would have gone? Do you would have gone into the finals?
The thing is, I don't like to say because I don't want to be like, yeah, I could have made it all the way to the final because I don't know. I had to be there. Mm-hmm. But if I were to get anywhere out, I think it would have been the cookie game just because I haven't had no training for that at all. I've only ever done it once and it failed. I think it might have been that. Although when I was watching the video, I ended up choosing the second to last one, if that makes sense. And that one was the triangle, right? Because I know the very left one was the umbrella. The second one was the circle, and I can't remember the last two. But maybe I would have a chance. I have no idea. So I was kind of playing along with the Squid Game online just to see and when that offer came, I would never have taken it. That I just don't like doing it. I didn't want to and I forgot what the levels were on top of my head.
It was the tug of war, then like the bridge. And then the finals.
Don't they have the envelope? That was between tug of war and...
I didn't understand that one.
I think it was just to get more people out and also to plug in Brawl Stars, I would think.
Yeah.
I think I might have had a better chance just because, they were looking for the biggest guys. And I feel like if I was there, they'd be like, hey, get over here. I'll be like, so there, I think exactly. What was it? So the cookie game, if I didn't get out of the cookie game, then probably the envelope card game / the panels. I think I would have gotten out on.
Yeah. The cookie game or tug of war?
Yeah. You on my team. Don't worry about that. You'll be fine. Maybe. Before the panels, it was the marble game. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
It was that. That I have no idea because, to be honest with you, that's probably like a 50-50. Yeah. So I couldn't tell you anything there. So probably there. But if I were to one there, then definitely the glass panels.
Yeah. So, forgot my question. Let me look at mine. So, how legit was Mrbeast? Like, what was like the whole production like? Did you think it was gonna be like less like professional, or do you get actually like surprised with like the whole sets and like the production and everything?
Do you mean like Mrbeast himself or like the actual set?
Like the sets, Mrbeast, like really everything about the production. What was like
what was real, what was fake kind of thing?
Yeah, and then like
okay, yeah. I think I know what you mean. No, everything you saw in the video was almost real. I mean, yeah, there was a few CGI moments where, like, just to highlight the wood panels and stuff. Like, even since I got on red light, green light. But one thing I noticed that was CGI'd was the sky. Because in the video, you saw the sky. But in real life, since it was just an agriculture center, it just kind of looked like this. I don't know, what do you expect an agriculture center to look like? Some steel, wood, all that jazz. But, like, no, like, red light, green light arena was, like, it was real. It was crazy. And just seeing, like, the damn doll. That thing, when I first saw that, I knew I was in Mrbeast Squid Game. That was for sure.
Yeah.
Nuts. And Now, I don't know if the head moving was CGI or not because I didn't pay attention to that.
No, it wasn't moving. There was like a video this other YouTuber did.
It was video? Okay.
This whole YouTuber did like a whole video of him like actually building it. And there was a control where it moved.
Okay. All right. Well, the more you know. I wasn't really paying attention to that, obviously. Mr. Beast himself, think about him, he's definitely like a perfectionist. You can tell because he just wants it the best he can. But he's also, we got to talk to him very briefly. What was it? He was pretty damn shy, to be honest with you. Like, even when he first walked in, he was like stunned. He ended up like pausing just for the fact that he's working with this many people. Because even if you think about it, we see Mr. Beast with 7 million views, but all he ever sees is his crew. He doesn't see in the camera.
And like a couple, 10 people, like a crew of people, and that's it. He doesn't see like.
Yeah. So he was like very excited to be there. And even prior to going in, he ended up coming out to see us. And he was very friendly. He was very nice. You might get some more details about him with Spiffy Jake with your later interview. But then what I meet, he's a very nice guy. Shy, but nice.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a nice guy. And like from the amount of subscribers, you probably think he's like extroverted or something like that. But actually, a lot of like famous YouTubers are introverted, which is like kind of weird. Like for what they do, it's kind of like weird to be introverted.
Yeah. I mean, especially for the fact that we only see this character, we don't actually see the real person. We just got introduced to.
Exactly. So when you like lost the challenge, what happened after? Like, what was the whole thing on this? But explain that a little bit more.
So like after the fact? Yeah. Obviously, I was pissed, as one would be. No, it's all good. So the people that end up winning, they end up going to that back room, and that was where they had the Brawl Stars, I'm pretty sure. But we ended up having to go back to the place that we entered. They ended up telling us, they ended up giving us our clothes, and they told us to go to get changed. We had to give like jackets and stuff away, obviously. But yeah, we had to go to like the bathroom, get changed, give it to them, and we went to the restaurants that were there, grabbed some food, get on the bus, hotel. We went to one thing that was not told is that once we got back to the hotel, all the losers, we had the biggest bonding moment because we ended up just ordering a shitload of food coming from like DoorDash, Grubhub, and we just had a feast. Like it was nuts on how much food. There was like KFC was coming in. There was pizza, wings. There was it was nuts. No, it was amazing. I would have done that again, but also at the same time, my stomach was killing me the next. But during that night, we also had to rebook our airplane tickets, which were next day. So we ended up going the next day. We ended up waking up, taking the bus to the Capitol's airport, and then we were sent out from there.
Yeah, like when you got home, like after the whole video thing, was it like, okay, well now, should I make a TikTok about it? Like, or did you just like chill?
I mean, what was it? Obviously, I didn't make the TikToks about because I had to follow NDA, which just says you cannot talk about anything until after the fact, and any monetization goes to Beast himself because it's kind of like copyright kind of thing. So
any money from like those TikToks
or like YouTube videos or anything like that, because there's just the fact like Mr. Beast, the Beast games kind of became like a copyright kind of thing. So and plus it's kind of like you're getting clout from the creator kind of thing. So it would make sense to me. But yeah, I was just kind of following. But what was it? I come back to my dorm room and my roommate's in here and he's like, "You're back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I lost in the first round. I don't want to hear it." But no, everything was kind of chill after the fact. We were just kind of relaxing, and I was just, what was it? I ended up getting the money actually the day they posted the video. So
how did the whole like money thing work? Because I'm definitely interested in that because he gives me a lot of money. So I'm interested in like how the whole thing works.
Like how you transfer the money?
Yeah.
We're getting into specifics there. You Mr. Capitalist man, aren't you? But no, he has sent us a form, just sent out like bank information, basic stuff, and just kind of simple, just bank information, your account number, that they end up having it. They end up depositing the money. Yeah. But
yeah, I don't just want to say this, but like, what are you planning to do with the money?
No, you're fine. Well, the very first thing I ended up using the money was gas for my car because I ended up figuring out I was low. But no, I'm going to put $1,500 towards my college just to pay for tuition. And then the extra $500 just kind of like pocket change money, just wherever I want to spend on just extra money to have in the pocket.
I mean, it's so cool that even though you didn't like lost in the first couple rounds, that you still got a good amount of money.
And plus they end up paying for everything, the flight, the food, hotel, everything. And why not do it?
It was like, wait, who did you guys order? Like, did Mr. Beast pay for?
That was on our own. I mean, plus we knew we had a $2,000 check coming in anyways.
Exactly. Like, if you're gonna have that much money coming in, like in the next couple of days, just like after the video release, when you decide to actually start making TikToks about it.
I ended up making videos about it. I'm trying to think. Like 3 days. No. It was almost the day after or 2 days after the video came out, making TikToks about it.
Like, what was the, like, did you think those TikToks were gonna do well? Or like, I don't know.
To me, it was a 50-50 because what was it? I am a content creator on TikTok, and right now my views have been a little bit on the low. So I ended up making the first few for the day, not really thinking much was going to happen. I was just answering questions, and all of a sudden I blew up like crazy. Oh, okay, let's continue doing this for one more day because I wanted to answer as many questions, but I didn't want to prolong it because I didn't want to also.
It's so hard.
I mean, I did it like, was it like probably like 8 in the day, 7 the next day. Just
as much as possible because like
I didn't want
not many people get that opportunity. So it's like
I get that, but also at the same time, I'm still a content creator. I don't want my like regular fans. Oh, he's just milking this whole thing. We're waiting to make content. So I just try to answer as many as I can with a little amount of time I had, and I try to get like questions that kind of a little bit more broad, just so I can talk a little bit more. So hopefully I answered more questions about it. And I have a whole playlist on my TikTok, including the exposing the Lad Bible video.
Yeah. So now that you stopped making those TikToks, like, were you scared that not all of like those viewers are gonna like your new content or the content you're posting before?
I was very much scared because I ended up getting like 48,000 new followers, and all the likes and stuff were coming from those Squid Game videos.
Yeah.
And, oh, this is gonna be a weird transition. The TikTok algorithm is not gonna like this, so it was scary. But I do know that I just need to find the right trend for me because I kind of learned the algorithm. So I'm just kind of on a reset. So I just need to wait.
Because I really want to go on TikTok. I can't do it. So
the thing is,
a lot of people's easy, but like I've cracked the YouTube Shorts algorithm, but I just like.
No, I get that. Thing about me is that I was on the app ever since it was Musically, not posting, but I was just there. I ended up starting posting when I was in like 2018, 2017, and I don't know. I just kind of like went with the flow of everything, kind of following trends and stuff, and then putting my own little twist on it and stuff like that. I ended up, what was it? The fact is, I ended up finding my niche. Like, just did a video that also worked. So I'm like, oh, okay. And that niche that ended up working for me was a thing called Vibe Dog. And I ended up kind of just going on that for a little bit. I kind of made that my persona. It's even my, was in my profile picture. That's what it's called. And yeah, I just kind of been, because that was a thing that really put me on the map, I guess. And yeah, I just kind of, and after like one of the things dies, I just go back to like the board, just trying new videos with new trends, see what works, what doesn't. And it's a continuous process, I think.
Yeah, it's like every social media is like trying different things, like because not always the first thing is going to work for you, like in anything. If it does, then you're extremely lucky. But yeah, it's always like trying new things. And then also, if you try new things, if one does well, like if you try something else, if you don't try something else, you never know if that new thing will do even better. It's always good to keep trying new things.
And also with the thing about TikTok is that feels like it's constantly changing, because originally, like during my 2018 times, obviously if you know 2018 TikTok was the ironic phase and there was such a variety. But nowadays I feel like it's so concentrated onto like certain categories and compared to a broad subject. So you just kind of have to adapt with the algorithm itself. And with that, you can either continue rising.
What are some of your future plans now after this whole thing?
Future plans, let me think here. I'm actually making a short film for one of my classes, roughly based on the idea of Mrbeast himself. It's called IRL. And basically it's about a up and coming content creator named Fresh Kong. He is this online persona. He's like this witty, he's this crazy, charismatic guy, but then in real life, he's introverted. He doesn't like talk to random people, and also at the same time, he's just like anyone else. He goes to school, he hangs out with his friends, and it's just his first interaction with one of his fans for the first time, where they're expecting to see Fresh Kong, but not him. I will try to post it on YouTube. I'll definitely try to post it. And that should be coming out sometime next week or 2 weeks.
That's so cool. I'm so excited to see what you do next, because 500,000 followers is a lot and you can do so much with that. So I'm really excited to see what using the next platform. So let's say someone wants to get into a Mrbeast video. What do they do?
I'm sorry?
Let's say someone wants to get into a Mrbeast video. What do they do to get into Mrbeast?
That I can't tell you. Just make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe to Mrbeast. Take part of his giveaways or his merch drops and stuff like that, or don't, because I still managed to get in. So there's no way to submit yourself except for just following him, because there's no form to fill out to be part of a raffle or something like that. It's just subscribe, follow, and praise for luck.
Thank you so much for the podcast. This really means a lot. So before we end, is there anything you want to promote?
Sure. Make sure to follow me and Bruce on TikTok and Luigino Angelini on YouTube to check out the short film IRL.
It will all be in the description, so definitely go follow him and everything. So thank you so much once again, and I'll see you next episode of the Mrbeast.
Thank you very much.